There we go. I forgot to press.
I never noticed that.
Good for you.
I know. Look at me.
Wouldn't that
I could
have been
finally
awful?
see.
Oh, man.
Okay, you were saying?
I was saying before I pressed record, this is our first two-parter of season 3.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's so crazy, guys.
It is crazy.
We're going to have to expand that Tennessee map to the whole United States.
That's so true.
Yeah.
I will say this one has to be a 2-parter, if not even maybe a 3-parter, because number one, I feel like in order to keep it reasonable as far as listening time, we can't give the victims justice and like enough time for themselves, you know. And I don't want to rush through it, but I feel like there's also lots of room for theories. So
it might be a 3-parter.
Yes, I mean it's a lot.
It's a lot. So this case is of the Casanova Killer. He killed in Tennessee. He killed all over the United States.
California, Nevada, Ohio, Florida, Georgia.
Everywhere.
Texas, everywhere. Also, I know he said 2-parter, but if you get to the end of this episode and you're like, wait, what? Where's the rest of it? That's coming next week.
Yes. We're going to make you wait for it.
Yeah, so at least 2 episodes on this.
Exactly. So his name was Paul John Knowles. He was born April 25th, which makes him a Taurus, which kind of makes me sad because I'm a Taurus.
I know.
1946.
Well, if he was an Aries, I'd be worried because I'm married to an Aries. So.
Oh, well, that's good. At least you're not married to a Taurus at this point because this is bad. He died on December 18th of 1974. He's most well known as like the like almost more charming, more death Ted Bundy. Like, charming, good looking,
more of a monster.
Yeah.
In my opinion, from everything you know and hear about Ted Bundy, is like there was a clear just disconnect from life for Ted Bundy. Whereas like this guy, to me, there's no real rhyme or reason.
Yeah, because Ted Bundy only killed women.
And it was a very specific way.
Type of woman.
Like this is it's like lunacy. Like it just
all over the board.
And like
didn't matter
why. You know? No, and also why for Ted Bundy. Because,
yeah, that's true.
Because why kill anybody?
Yeah.
But this guy's just, I don't know. It's
crazy.
Very eerie.
Yeah. He ended up taping and describing what happened to each of his victims, which would be found later after his death. He admitted to 35, but was only tied to 18-ish. 18-ish. He was born in Orlando, Florida. He was one of 7 kids, so a big family. His father was very abusive, emotionally, physically, all the things, to him and his siblings, and more than likely his mother, Bonnie. And Bonnie, you know, feeling stuck and not knowing what to do, kind of let it happen. But I feel like if you're abusing your children, there's a good chance you could be abusing your wife too.
Yeah, or one could think too, like maybe she was not just abused, but like I feel like back in the 70s especially, it was one of those when you had that many kids and you very well could have been abused, like maybe on some sort of medication that just kind of
numbs you.
Yeah,
makes
like
you zombies.
Go to when you have that many kids too, it's like you just go to your room, and I feel like that's what I always think of when it's like mental health and women in like the 50s, 60s, 70s. Like it was just take this antidepressant and get your wine or your beer and go in the bedroom. and shut the door.
Yeah.
So.
Not very well taken care of.
And not there.
Not there. Not present.
Yeah.
He was not well behaved. As a young child, he and his siblings were actually put into the foster care system by the father. He's just like, okay, I'm done. Can't do this anymore.
See, that's another thing. Like, did he rule that house so much? Like, was the mom, she wasn't going to... That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like she was on medication or something. Like, she was just checked out.
Mm-hmm.
Just completely checked out.
Yeah.
I mean, this is...
It's insane. It's not good.
No, it's not.
So eventually, Paul would be sent to the Dozier School for Boys. It's also known as the Florida School for Boys. And this school was notorious for, like, beating kids into submission. He was beat and abused there. The school was shut down in 2011, and this is wild. When they knock the school down, because they do that a lot.
This makes me so sick.
They'll knock down places where horrible things have happened.
Yes.
In 2011, when they knocked it down, they found 50 bodies buried there. 50 bodies.
Oh my gosh.
Horrible, horrible, horrible.
And this was a place for children.
For children. Mm-hmm.
Where are his siblings?
I know. There is one interview with one of the brothers. I think his name is Clayton. If you search it, I don't... Yeah.
I'm not trying to be hateful, but, like, I kind of want to know if they're as fucked up as him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean...
You either are good out of something like that or bad.
But even if you're good, you're not good.
Yeah.
You're deciding every day that you're going to be good. Mm-hmm. Because I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine growing up, literally growing up, getting the crap beat out of me every day by my dad and or mom, but either way my mom isn't doing anything to help me, my siblings can't do anything to help me, then I get given up, not placed for adoption, not I don't have what it takes to take care of my child and they need better, not that, it's I don't care and you get in my way. So, and I'm tired of beating the crap out of you because it's old now. So, you can go to this school and then you're abused and beaten more. Like, who turns out okay?
Yeah. Well, this guy obviously did not, because 35, he admitted to 35 kills. So, at age 19, after he got out of this Dozier School for Boys, he stole a car, and when police pulled him over, he acted, this is crazy, he ambushed the cop, took him hostage. This is not going to be the only time he takes a cop hostage.
Or steals a cop's car.
Oh my gosh. So he takes this cop hostage. They drove for 2 hours, and he decides, okay, I'm going to let the cop go. He was arrested for this and sentenced to 10 years in Rayford Prison in Florida. So 10 years in prison.
First of all, how, like, you are 19 years old with your whole life ahead of you. This is I ain't got shit to lose.
Yeah, I feel like he was so, like, charming that he, like, finagled his way into kidnapping a cop.
Well, if he ambushed him, then he basically was like, if I die, cool.
Yeah.
If he shoots me, fine.
He doesn't care.
No, he doesn't. He has
nothing to lose, so even his life.
I have a feeling he has a major disassociation situation.
You have to.
At that point, to him, that is regular life. Mm-hmm. For most people, it's survival mode. For him, he has lived in survival mode.
Mm-hmm. So it's just
constant disassociation. Mm-hmm. I'm no therapist. Please, I'm not trying to act like I'm a therapist, but I feel like the writing's on the wall.
Crazy. So, he was sentenced to 10 years.
He ambushed a cop and drove him around for 2 hours and dropped him off. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Holy crap.
So, he was sentenced to 10 years. Of his 9th year, the last year of his prison sentence, in 1974, Paul starts reading. He was really into astrology and, like, reading his signs. Like,
we are?
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
And there was this magazine that you could get, and it was like all about astrology, and you could read your horoscope every day, and
They obviously were able to get it in prison.
you were able to get it in prison. So one day, this magazine owner talks about her daughter, Angela, and something in that article clicks with Paul, and he's like, I want to write Angela. Yeah.
Okay, question. Do you think that the reason, like for me, I'm thinking, okay, it's his last year of a sentence. He's probably got a release date already.
Mm-hmm.
He's been reading this magazine, but in the same time, like, he's thinking, who am I going to talk to, or who am I going to know, or who am I going
to mooch off of?
Right, when I get out. So, to me, this was a plotted
It probably was.
thing.
Okay, he's smart enough. I mean,
Right.
Witty, you're like...
Clever.
Yeah, clever. He's
Mm-hmm.
clever. So what he does is he decides to send a letter to the daughter of this magazine owner who he reads every day. Her name is Angela Kovac. And she gets the letter, sees where it's from, writes a letter back, writes the address of where it's going. She knows he's in prison.
Yeah. You know, I've gotten letters from people.
Shut up.
Lots of them.
I've had people tell me they've listened to me in jail.
That's cool. Yeah.
Like, okay, that's cool.
No, I think that's really cool because that means like you're probably like a breath of fresh air for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Who did you? How many?
I've
Explain.
probably gotten like
More than one?
oh yeah, yes.
Do they have Teen Mom in prison?
You know, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
That's crazy.
But I do know too, like certain things from 16 and Pregnant and Teen Mom have been put into textbooks for like older high school, like home ec parenting, but then also college for statistics, for psychology, like all kinds of. I also get messages on social media all the time, or like people tag me and they're like sitting in class and they're on the page or whatever, and they send me a picture of it.
That's cool.
But no, I think like, so people could have seen it in like a book in a library in the prison, but no, I'd say probably at least 15.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Do you read them?
Mm-hmm. Never responded.
That's crazy.
I wish I would have kept all of them though, because now I'd like to look them up and see what they were in there for. I mean, shoot, that would be a great interview for us. But yeah, no, I mean, at least, I feel like it's at least once a year. At least. And they normally send a picture, and they've all been very polite and not
gross.
Yeah, at all. But still, it's kind of scary because I mean, they could have been in there for like marijuana possession or something. But like, I don't know.
They could also be in there for murder.
35 people to be exact.
Yeah.
Because that, like, I mean, although at this time he had not admitted to all of this or been tied to all of this, but still, he was in there for ambushing a cop, taking him hostage.
Yeah, bad things, not good things.
Oh my God, watch. Now you're going to get a letter from someone in jail or prison.
If you're a woman, I would accept it. If not, then no.
Well, that's facts. But I would still read it.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to read it and keep it, and look, this is my, frame it, and this is my
You know
letter
what? Maybe this is the episode where we need to say, if you're listening to us from inside the jail or prison.
Internet access?
Yeah, in the library.
How
do you think they got my address?
Oh, yeah. I don't know, because people are creepy.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's public record, so.
Yeah.
They can look it up in there, because they have to be able to access their record, too.
Yeah.
But you also have to behave to get those privileges.
Right.
But also people have phones and stuff in there that
Yeah.
they hide and bring in and stuff. Contraband.
Yeah.
No, this should be the episode where if you are listening to us and you are involved with someone, connected to someone, related to someone that is in jail or prison, or you are the person in jail or prison, male or female, doesn't matter, and you are claiming innocence, or you're claiming guilt, but you want to talk about it,
Oh, so down. We'll come visit you.
that's facts.
Put money on your books.
Straight facts.
So.
I don't think they're allowed to take money.
Oh, really?
Not for something like that. I think it's against the rules. We can
Can't
buy
you
them
just
like
be a
ramen,
friend?
though.
Yeah.
We send them ramen.
Yeah. Ramen and chips and candy. Okay, anyway. So Paul meets the daughter of the magazine owner. Her name is Angela. They quickly start talking to each other, writing each other. And one of the reasons is because she has money, like you said. And that money was able to get him out of jail pretty quickly. On one of the visits, because after they started writing each other, they evolved to visiting or whatever, he got down on one knee in the prison yard and asked her to marry him. And she said yes. Got him out of jail a year early. They were going to go back to California where she lived, start their own lives. And then, once they got there, Angela, because she's into horoscopes and psychics,
Astrology.
Yes, she visits a psychic.
Do you believe in psychic?
Yeah, I think so.
I do too.
I think so.
I mean, I think there's some fake ones out there.
Oh,
but
yeah, totally. But I think there's some real ones out there, too.
Yep.
So she visits a psychic, says the man in her life is bad news, and she listens to her and breaks off the engagement. And then Paul moves back to Florida. He lives in Jacksonville. And then just soon after all of that, he was arrested for stabbing a bartender during a fight. He gets arrested, taken to jail, because he's such a Casanova, the Casanova Killer. He actually picks the lock in his cell and escapes.
Straight up escapes.
That is so insane.
Do you know the exact definition of Casanova?
No. Do you?
I'm about to. I think I know what it is. Okay. A philanderer, but a man considered romantic and gallant, especially one who gives amorous attention to women. He's promiscuous. So the female, if I'm thinking about this correctly, the female Casanova is meant for male.
Mm-hmm.
The equivalent, if it were a female, would be like a seductress, or just like
Seduces to get
like
what they want.
like alluring, very smooth, and
Knows how to get what they want, manipulating
yes, but like in a loving,
type of way.
caring. I need your help. I need you, and I love you, and you're great. I'm great, but I need you.
Yeah.
That type of way.
Yeah.
I'm clearly not one of them, because I can't even fake it.
Yeah, you can't.
I'm like, I don't fucking need anybody. I'm almost too independent.
Yeah.
For my own good. Oh my gosh. How do you... Also, what were the freaking locks like in 1974 for him to pick a lock? Like, what, there was only one lock?
I don't know. It's hard to escape from prison, so I have no idea.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this guy. Okay.
And this is just the beginning.
Yes, it is. All right, so after he escaped from prison, He then went on a 4-month multi-state crime spree. So we know for sure Tennessee, California, Arizona, Ohio, Texas, Nevada, Florida, Georgia,
Carolinas,
probably some more in there.
Yeah.
Also, I don't remember any other serial killer like in history that committed so many
And such a
so close. I mean, day after day, 3 days later, day after day, after, like
He was institutionalized as a child for so many years. He was in jail for 10 years. He doesn't know what to do with himself outside of
4 walls.
Yeah.
And structure and
beatings.
forcibly having to do things.
Yeah.
And or just take everything that's thrown at you.
Yeah.
Including fists.
Just a shell of a person.
Oh my gosh. Disassociation. So at the time, none of the crimes were linked to him or anybody or to each other.
Because they're crossing state lines.
Yeah, and they're happening so fast too.
They can't keep up.
No, and this is like back like landlines.
Yeah. No internet. Or internet was scarce.
No, you'd have to send a letter in the mail. That might get there faster than getting somebody on the phone. Honestly, back then. Because you remember when you had to call out of state? Do you remember that?
Didn't you have to dial something first?
Yeah, I mean, you had to like dial something, and then especially if there's like a rotary phone, there was all kinds of little things you had to do, and even if you did all of them, doesn't mean you're going to be able to call somebody in California from Tennessee.
And you had to figure out what the number was. So you had to like have a phone book from that area,
like a national. Could you imagine a nationwide phone book? How big that thing is?
No,
it'd be like a freaking encyclopedia.
The whole set.
Yes.
Yeah.
A through Z.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, anyways, at the time, none of the crimes were linked to each other or really like one person. It wasn't like, oh, there's a serial killer and this is happening. But after Knowles was captured, authorities discovered that he had recorded audio taped confessions that he had mailed to an attorney.
His attorney. He wanted fame from this. He thought, okay,
He wanted attention.
But if I do this, I could get some notoriety or.
Well, you gotta think if his whole life
he's nothing. Yeah,
he's been treated like dog crap on the ground. Beat to crap all the time, never probably shown love by anybody
or trust from
ever
anybody. Yeah,
at all. Kids, teenagers, adults, family, doesn't matter. He is just garbage in his mind, right? So his thing is like, well, I want to do something to get the bad attention.
So that's all he's learned.
Right.
That's all he knows.
Like, at least then I know that I've done something. Like, even done something, because if I'm going to get bad attention, then I want to I'll deal with the consequences. But I want to have earned the consequences. But then the other part of that, too, is people are already going to think I'm a monster because I think I am because of how I've been treated. So why not go be that monster?
Yeah.
Go be what I've been treated like. Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I hate to like relate or feel for a serial killer, but
to me, I just think about like that kid that didn't deserve any of that crap. And why would anybody be shocked he did what he did?
Of course he did what he did.
No one protected him. No one saved him. It was just one bad
thing
hellacious thing after another. So he sends these recorded audio tape confessions to his attorney. These tapes were in fact never released to the public, obviously because they were probably very heinous. And I do not think he felt an ounce bad for it. At that point, he had to have sold himself on the idea of what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
But they were actually reviewed by a grand jury in 1975. I would love to hear that.
Did you know that they're ruined now?
Yeah, they got ruined.
In a flood or something bad?
If someone is still... If someone's on this grand jury and you could tell us what was on there, I want to know. I want to hear it from him. But yeah, the tapes and along with all the transcripts were destroyed after being ruined beyond repair in a flood of the federal courthouse in Macon, Georgia, according to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. Do we believe that? We don't think there's one transcript out there somewhere?
Maybe. I don't know.
Or do they just get tired of telling people no? Because some of these cases are still open.
Mm-hmm.
So, they get tired of people asking for it. We should go on a treasure hunt for them. Okay, so to give you kind of like a preview of what the second episode will entail, as far as the cases.
We looked at like victimology, like man or woman, what age the person was, how they were killed, if they were raped, if the car or possessions were stolen.
Theft, yeah, like all of the above. Just to see if there was any sort of pattern, because with him it seems like
random.
All over the place.
Opportunity, pretty much.
Yes. And just urgency. Like, almost just to, like, prove it to himself or something.
Well, if you're not getting caught, you get more and more power built up in your mind. I don't know.
So we and these are the ones that are really, like, kind of the notable ones that some of them... It's still not like how they exactly died, not sure. How he met them, not sure. Why he was in this area, not sure. Like, it's so all over the place.
And only 20 of the 35
were connected to him.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is 18 to 20 of the 35 he admitted to. Mm-hmm. Some of them that we're about to talk about, some law enforcement still does not believe like he was responsible, or they think he was lying about it. Mm-hmm. But I'm like,
why would you?
And he knew exactly the details, you know what I mean?
I think the other 10 to 15 were probably just never found, and they could never connect the dots back to him.
Right, so it was like maybe he heard about it in prison or something like that. So what we did find, though, and this is just like, to me, this is still just surface level, and based off the information of closed cases, but he had, let's see, he had how many? I didn't put the number of men and women. This was interesting to me.
It's on the back of that.
He had 16 females and 6 males for what we know and what we're going to talk about. For females, the age ranged from 7 years old to 65 years old. For males, 23 years old to 62. People that were gagged and or strangled to death or died because they were gagged, 8+ females, 2+ males. He also had necrophilia or practiced necrophilia, which is...
that is where you have intercourse with an unalived person. Sick. Mm-hmm. Sick. He is sick.
Yep. 5+ females were raped or he performed necrophilia. I put a question mark under male because I'm not going to say, I know there was at least one male body that was a victim that was found naked. We're just not sure about men as far as any sexual or rape or necrophilia, but 5+ women. people that were shot. At least one, probably more women, and 2+ men, so 2 or more men. Didn't really find much about him stabbing females.
It seems like he's into strangling or shooting people
Yes.
he may not can control as well.
Yeah.
He strangled a lot of women.
And shot a lot of men. And stabbed. So shooting and stabbing men, but like strangulation of women seemed to be the thing. Kidnapping people and holding people hostage. I hate to say it. Majority of the men were police officers.
Crazy.
4+ men were kidnapped and or held hostage. 5+ women. And 3+ women had their car stolen and or other items like TVs, but
Property.
mainly vehicles,
Yeah.
where he would commit the crime and the murder and steal their car.
Steal their car, steal their money, and use it to get to the next
place,
destination.
and then do it all over again.
Yep.
And then, so 3+ women for that, 3 or more, and then 2 or more men for that. What I will say I found very interesting is when he was first released from prison and they called off the engagement, he did start almost like with younger females, like child age, like I think in the first month, the oldest I think was 23.
Yeah. That's okay. If I'm a killer, I'm gonna go for the easiest target first.
And when you were yourself as an adolescent beat and abused, constantly.
Yeah, he's probably killing himself in those killings.
Yes,
you know,
or taking
off on
his anger out. Yeah. all the things.
It's all what he's learned.
This is so bad.
We need therapy, man.
Well, then he went to changes age. Like, then he jumps from like adolescence to late teens, early 20s, jumps to like 30 to 40 ish.
He's escalating.
Yeah, and that's when the real like stealing of the cars and stuff happens. Then it's like it goes into like older than that, so like late 40s to 60s. And couples.
Yeah.
And it was mother-daughter, it was father-daughter, it was boyfriend-girlfriend, it was husband-wife.
It was 2 hitchhikers that were man and woman.
Yeah, I mean, just like couples.
It's the next challenge for him.
It's just so
gross.
He was, man. And
it's like a drug. Like,
he
once
is
you get
a human,
taste,
so I can say,
more.
like, not the monster side of him, but I really feel for the kid him. Like,
the little
could
kid
you
inside.
imagine everything he endured to turn, for that to be his thought? Like, for that to be the only thing he's ever known in his life is hate and brutality and abuse.
And pain.
Yeah, man.
No, I don't even want to think about it. I feel like I'll go to a real bad place. Can't think about it.
This is why we need to take care of each other.
And take your medicine.
And go to therapy.
And don't abuse people.
And don't do meth.
And don't kill people.
I mean,
it's
the little kid him just really needed a hug.
He just needed
he needed a hug. He needed a grown-up to have his back.
And help him.
Yes.
No one helped him.
Nobody.
Crazy. Cray.
I really want to know where his siblings are.
Okay, let's look it up, and then we'll come back for the second part of this, because
it's about to get real.
It's awful. We're going to go through, on the next episode, all of the victims and kind of how he killed 35 people in a year. And how he got away with it, pretty much. And then we're going to go over, like, theories and stuff.
Yeah. And I might bring wine glasses, because that sounds like a red wine kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's going to be tough.
Maybe bring vodka, too. The hard stuff.
If I bring vodka, I'm bringing a sleeping bag.
We can sleep here. There's a couch right over there.
There is. I'm not sleeping on-
Sleepover.
Yeah. Slumber
Oh.
party.
Yeah, you sleep on this couch. I'll sleep on the floor because I'm not sleeping on
I
our
am
old
not
couch.
sleeping on that couch.
I'll sleep in this chair before I sleep on
I
that
will
couch.
sleep in my car.
Crazy.
Like, no.
Yeah.
That's a story for another day.
Okay, so make sure you're following us on all social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. New episodes drop every Monday. You can get early access to the episodes on YouTube if you watch. Hello, thank you for watching. Leave a review, leave comments, leave a review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to.
We also want to know your theories about this one.
Ooh, yeah.
Like, how much of a role do you think everything he went through played in what he was?
Yeah, if you're a child psychologist or in school for that, that'd be so interesting to hear about.
Very much. Very, very. I want to know.
I know.
And if you happen to, well, I guess because their cases are still open, no one
knows.
If you have some inside information,
DM us.
let us know.
You can remain anonymous always.
Yes.
Yeah, just let us know.
Okay. If you're gonna be an asshole, be a funny one.
Don't do meth and kill people.
Don't do that.
This is the Expired Podcast. Come back next week for part 2.
Bye.